Hi, I'm Kyla Bursey, and welcome back to Hikylabur, where I'm realizing my potential while protecting my mental. Thank you for showing up today as I continue to invite you to feel real still. Feel all that you are, show up as your authentic self, and be present. This is my last week of college. Last week of school for a while. I've heard that school after college is nowhere near like undergrad because undergrad is still part of that continuous loop of education where you are going to school every year. And let's say, I guess it could be the same if I was going to graduate school, but it's more adult-like up there. When you enter college, I wasn't even 18 yet. So you're still trying to figure life out. And perhaps when you're out of college, you're more so like, I can do this adulting thing and I'm just deciding to go to school. So it's not the same. All of that to say, wow, I have one more class left. 2 actually, but I won't be going to my first one in the morning. I have a networking opportunity that I'm taking. I loved my African American music class, but I'll go to my official last class of college at 12:30, which is my public speaking class. And I decided to record today, Wednesday, April 24th, because I wanted to reflect on the moment. Hence, the title of this episode is more so reflecting on me deciding to launch a business my last semester of college, but also being real with you all. I try to be my authentic self. Well, I am my authentic self each episode. And I'd like to take a moment to feel real still with you all. So I'm a little more dressed up today because tomorrow I'm competing in the First Roads College, which is my college. I'm going to put it in the camera. But I may put it on the screen if that's helpful. First Roads College Venture Challenge, which is an investor pitch challenge. So you pitch your business and you can win some money. The grand prize is $15,000. I'm the only senior competing. I've been in the entrepreneurship program specifically as a pipeline to this moment right now to compete as a semifinalist in the competition since August. And that is putting a lot of pressure on me because Hikylabur is not only this podcast, it represents my media production and engagement brand. The podcast is part of the media side where especially this first season, I wanted to reflect and resonate with my peers, my audience, whomever could hear me and find value in my experiences, but with a greater purpose of letting you know that you're not alone. It's okay to not be okay. Hence the name Hikylabur. You can be high caliber. You can, want to be your best at everything. But as someone who has sacrificed their mental health and knows the effects of that, and especially we see it all the time with celebrities or successful people, they don't have to be known, but when they focus too much on success or the material or the outcome, then they miss something, whether it's they missed time with their family, they're not happy. So when approaching my career, what's next for me, I always wanted to think how can I be happy and, make money to sustain myself and also not exploit people. I'm into mental health and not saying exploitation. Exploitation comes up when I think of people selling you success, if only you do this, you'll be successful, or how bad do you want it? All of that's great, to get up and get moving and I guess to give you a little bit of drive for the day. But that hasn't taken me anywhere but to the emergency room for panic attacks. Yeah, I've reached some accolades or achievements in my life, but those meant nothing to me when I was not okay. So that was the purpose behind Hikylabur, and thinking about where do I want to see myself working or to consider work, but also what impact do I want to have in this world and for my peers. So this venture challenge is happening tomorrow. I decided to hop on here today. I literally just got home not too long ago. We had a practice run. And to be honest, I feel more confident than I did maybe an hour ago, but I wasn't feeling so confident. We have so many great competitors. There are 6 teams in total, including myself. And most of the other ones are like products, apps, tangible items. I am creating something that's more abstract in nature and ideas that I'm sharing. It's tangible in monetary value. You know, if I'm charging someone to go speak to an audience, or I'll say when, thinking optimistically, my podcast reaches more people and I can monetize it or take my career further in the media space, that's when it can go further. But when it comes to this part of things, it's like, well, is this really enough? And I really when you want something so badly and you're like, I just want to win. Or also you're thinking about, well, is it good enough to win? Like, I have made a lot of progress in that. I've launched Hikylabur, this format, solidified it as a business, and trying to put myself in the position to be able to fully put effort and worked towards Hikylabur when I graduate. But with anything, especially when you're first starting out, Hikylabur is not an overnight success. Looking at the numbers, which I've had to do more preparing for this moment, like how can I show the growth that I've had when I get a few views here and there, or people aren't watching all of my videos. Personally, I've been encouraging myself to say, Kyla, growth is going to come. And when you find your audience, you'll hit your stride. Someone is going to hear you, hear your message. And that's not always, I was going to say helpful. It is helpful. But for something like this, a competition where you're like, okay, here's how it's going to be successful. But I don't really know that with anything. So I just decided to get on here today to resonate with those who may be in a similar moment of striving towards something. You don't know where it's going to go, how it's going to look, but like myself, you're very passionate about it. I'd rather be doing Hikylabur all day, every day, because it's not something that feels like work, as opposed to something that I'm just doing to pass time. And that's always been my mindset throughout college. When it came to nursing, freshman year, I wanted to open my own practice. Professional golf, sophomore year, I was the product, right? Last year, when I switched to computer science, I was like, I want to have my own tech startup. Why would I become a software engineer just to perpetuate someone else's dream? I mean, I get it if you're passionate, or you don't have to be passionate about your job. But I personally, I want to be. I want to wake up every day and look forward to that speaking engagement or making another podcast episode. So all of that to say, launching a business in the last semester of college, it has been fun, challenging, and eye-opening. I've truly enjoyed this process, as this season of Hikylabur is coming to an end with a season of my life, the end of an era, my student era. It feels good to be documenting it, to look back on and to hear how people can resonate. And then moving forward, I look to have more direct conversations. So I really enjoy this means of communication, sharing, and knowing that I'm helping others in this way. It's been challenging because I've been trying to finish college at the same time, keeping up with this podcast production. Yes, I've had a little break here and there with the 4-day weekends, but I've been working on an app development all semester long. And that hasn't been the easiest process because you know how it can come when working with people sometimes. That's just life, being on teams. But it's challenging in the mind, like the mental capacity as well. Like, do I feel like smiling today in your face and not pretending, but getting on here when I only at the peak of the week when I'm feeling the best? This episode doesn't reflect a peak of my week. It represents a moment of uncertainty. With this competition coming up, I don't know how it's going to go. I'm going to do my best. And I was going to wait until after to record, but it's midweek. I have my last day of class tomorrow. And I just wanted to let myself know that no matter the outcome, I love you. And so as I had started, before I continued to describe launching a business, and this isn't to get into the specifics, if that's an interest of anyone's, I'd love to share more. But it was just acknowledging that I made this decision, and I've actively been reflecting on it in each episode, especially earlier ones where I kind of situated where I am, talked about my experience, but also said, this is scary. Like, I don't know what this is going to look like, but trying to give a positive approach to it and say, well, this uncertainty is beautiful. And I'm going to trust that this vision, this dream was planted in my mind for a reason. So that's the message today. That dream was planted in your mind for a reason. And I saw a tweet going around with that too. And I think that's a significant message because as the saying goes, if you can think it, you can achieve it. It may not be on your time. In my context, by the time I graduate, I'm going to have 1 million subscribers, 1 million listeners on my podcast. One day, for sure, I'm going to keep going. But just enjoying the process along the way. So this was me reflecting a little bit, feeling real still with you all. I think I mentioned another talk that I had the opportunity to do. It was I posted on my Instagram. I'm back on social media now, by the way. Well, Instagram. And I did a TEDx style speech, and I called it Building My Table, talking about how you can create an opportunity for yourself if it doesn't exist, or validate yourself, essentially. The 3 points in that speech were don't listen to kangaroos, inspired by something my dad told me growing up, kangaroos being the doubters or naysayers. The second one was to get up, meaning get up from tables or opportunities that may look good, but they don't feel so good, like you're not being valued there, or you may just want to do something else, and that's okay. And then the third step or note was when you get up, realize that you can stand on your own. To my audience, it was my peers, like fellow college students. Like I just said, we grown now. We can make decisions. We don't need anyone's permission to start a podcast, to launch a business on something that you're really passionate about, or apply for that role. It's harder at times in an economy when you feel like you need to support yourself. But at the end of the day, I believe that there's always going to be a door opened, a path made, as long as you're walking in the direction, you're continuing to go in that intentional motion towards where you want to be. So this is a check-in. I just wanted to talk, get my thoughts out on those different things. I'm going to listen to this back, see how it sounds, but I just wanted it to be as open as unedited as it could be. This is literally me pressing record and telling you how I feel about the moment in my life that I haven't fully processed because I'm just trying to, I'm just trying to graduate. But girl, you about to graduate. Like, it's over. You did the work. Like, just sit back and finish what you can and enjoy the moment. So I'm going to try to do that more and not stress about the outcome of certain things or attach my worth to something like this competition tomorrow. Yes, I want to win. Yes, I want to do my best, be my best. But I can accept what's for me is for me. And as long as I keep going, I know something will eventually give and everything is happening just how it's supposed to be. I'll let you know how the competition went next time. Week out from finally ending college. Let's see if I've have a different perspective or something more to say, because it's still like surreal to me. It's like, I have 5 more weeks left, but no, I don't. I graduate in 2 weeks, and it's like, that is a great accomplishment. And I know I have a tendency to devalue something or diminish it, like, oh, that's not a big deal. But girl, that's a big deal. Congratulations. I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you listening to this. I hope you're having a beautiful week, beautiful moment in your life. And if it's not the context of beautiful, as in like happy, just know that every moment has some beauty. So be well, take care of yourself, make space for yourself, and I'll see you next week. Thanks.